This one's just a test. Okay. All right. Well, that was really weird. Says we're okay now. So we're going to assume that this was all a test to begin with. All right, let me save to disk. Desktop should be fine. Looks like everything's okay. All right, let's just see what happens when I go to Cochrane now. There we go. Seems like everything's working perfectly fine. I don't actually really understand what's going on. Or why it was having issues before. I had to stop it and start it again, and then it was fine. So I don't really understand. But okay. All right, performance report here. We're doing good. We're doing good. We're gonna start going real bad here soon, so we're gonna turn that off. We're gonna turn that off for a second. All right. You have returned. There we go. Hello, Haru. I have no idea why everything was having issues. I have zero clue, actually. It was really, really weird. My internet was working perfectly fine. There was no error that I got anywhere. But then out of nowhere, I just started dropping frames. So hopefully it doesn't do that again. And then like it dropped almost all of them. And so it just wasn't doing things properly anymore. A little bit weird. Was I just winning the entire time and then I made a mistake later and lost? I feel a little bit bad now. That's what the graph is telling me, right? I don't like that. I think I made a mistake later because I thought you were ahead by the time I ran out of time. But maybe I'm wrong. Was I winning? We'll see. There we go. There we go. There we go. There it is. There it is. Yeah, yeah. I mean, when you broke through the Moyo area, there you go. I was like, where is it? I'm pretty sure I got behind. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there you go. Right there. I was like, I'm pretty sure. Okay. Yeah, so it was probably this moment here. Okay. Let's see. No, this was all fine. I'm ahead right at this point. But playing the move on the inside, this was just me playing like a panic move real quick. But if I just do regular move right now, I should be fine. Okay. Has to be M2 then. Yeah, yeah, yeah. M2. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I was trying to see if there was a way for me to get something extra over here, but I couldn't quite find it on the bottom. I thought maybe if I had M2, it might be possible to try to get something. But then there was nothing quite there, I thought, as well. So I just need to play another move over here like I wanted to. And then we would have been fine. But not fine, because it's 1 point, so it was still really close. So I don't know if that doesn't really count. And then, yeah, after this, you should just be ahead. Okay, okay. I was doing better than I thought I was doing, I guess I should say. Now we can look at how badly we did. Actually, this is perfectly acceptable. 67, 60%, that's perfectly acceptable, I think. Only one big mistake. That's actually not bad. One big mistake and that's it. No blunder for you, yeah? Hello, C&M. Yeah, this is not bad at all. So if we just go before these mistakes, right here, we just delete the rest of the game. I didn't need to do that one. I was just looking for some random thing there. But we just go from here on, I'm probably doing really good. Anyway, let's look at the beginning here. There were some spots I thought were a little bit weird. We'll just move on here. There you go. Let's go to the top moves for now, so they won't distract me. But this one, the AI suggested this one because last time we played, I believe I did this here. Right? I believe that's what happened last time. And I believe last time the AI did say to play farther away. It didn't say that my move was bad, though. This is still good. But I thought, you know what? I should try it. And it wants either one over here. Yeah, so I figured I should just try it and see what you do. And, of course, if we did this one, I was just going to go off to the side here somewhere. I was thinking this one. Just somewhere over here. But, yeah, it's still acceptable, yeah. All these moves are good still. I was just thinking, I did this one last time, and AI said that they liked this one more, so I'll try this one, see how it goes. And I'm not sure if I liked it, is really what I'm getting at here. I'm not sure I actually really liked it. So I don't think I followed it up right, honestly. Yeah, I wanted to play here, but it seems like both those moves are still fine. And yeah, I can't block. That cut is too much. And then yeah, doing this one is normal. Cutting right away. Yeah, it was hard for me to decide on that, so I just jumped in. So, okay, this is all fine. There's nothing really wrong here then. Just Knight's move instead of jump seems to be the better move. This is the first close to a mistake in the game, but I think that's still okay. This is still not a big deal. It does seem that they want you this right away. I guess it's a Sente move that helps later, but it helps with the cuts. Okay, yeah, why not? Yeah, this also felt a little bit weird, but because like if I'm gonna give something up, I would rather give up on this side, right? So I would rather give up this one because it gets like a really strong position if I'm gonna give one side up. But it seems like I just wouldn't want to. They just wouldn't want to play here in general. Let's see. After this move, are we gonna play here now? No, just play far away. Okay. I don't think that's too big of a deal, but interesting to see. I thought that would be fine still. Yeah. And we both basically make a like we're both playing exactly the same. Try to be a bit more solid. Yeah, that helps a lot against me for sure. I think last time that was one of the problems. If I was paying a little bit more attention to like actually using my brain last time, it would have been a great game for me. Same with this one. I should have been in a good position as well. Oh, I did just want to block. Oh, this is something I wasn't expecting. Just block. Huh. Oh, I guess it's true. I guess it is true, right? Jumping here doesn't really do anything. This area is not very big. And of course it wants this one. That's why it keeps going back and forth. The graph is all shaky like that. It's because it wants this move. But the bottom is sort of bigger anyway than this side, than this top side. So I guess that does make sense. Just blocking here. Even if we just do this sort of thing. This makes a lot of sense, actually. Okay. I need to be more flexible with the 3-3 idea. For some reason, I was thinking that was just too bad a shape for me. But it was not. Jump is good. Slide is not as good because I should be doing something over here. Yeah, the cut was just bad. It was hard for me to tell if the cut was bad. It was really hard for me to tell. That was something I was struggling with a little bit in the game. Well, is the cut bad or good? So yes, you can get something in the corner. But it is technically making something weak, and it is giving me something as well. It was hard for me to judge that. But it wants the peep, which is the other move I was considering. But But I was looking at stuff over here too, but I wasn't sure how good this was, how useful it was. But I guess it is cutting it out. Okay. All right. Yeah, this was where I was having hardest time. Yeah, it just outs the center. Yeah, D10 is just one more move here, and there's just nothing that can be done here in the center. Yeah. Turn was good. Atari was good. I should pull back here like this now. Oh, okay. That actually does make sense, but I'm fine with just... I wasn't sure which connection. Seemed like solid's better, apparently. Doesn't really matter. And I just wanted some extra stones in the center here, but it really wants us to use this over on the left side. All right, let's do that real quick. Let's do that. All right, let's get this over with here. Now that this is gone, I want to do this one right away. Because it's going to make me stronger over here. Well, and you're not alive yet as well. So a lot of good forcing moves. Wow, there's a lot that it wants us to do here. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that then. We'll just move on. I thought it was going to be simple, make exchange, and then move on, but no. It is not simple. Yeah, you probably don't need another move here. I thought you might just, yeah, do something over here. No, let's do that. Yeah. All right, have a good night. Was a fun game again. Yeah, see ya. Is the Hane good here? I don't like the Hane. Okay. So am I dropping any more frames or anything? No, I'm not. I'm still doing fine. Yeah. Earlier, we just had a random issue. And hopefully it never repeats itself. Pulling back. But I think any of these moves should be fine. Jump. This is really just wants the left side here. That's why we have a low score. The rest of the game is fine, but it just really wants us to do something on the left side. This was hard for me to judge again as well. So this was better. Just let you have that. We can always threaten the group still. And we got some extra strength and stuff over here. Okay. Yeah, the other peep was the better peep to do first. If they do this one, then we can play over here if we want to get this side here, but all right. This one right away? That seems a little questionable. I don't know if I want to do that. I'm not going to follow that logic here. Just capture seems to be much simpler to think of. Yeah, and I kept backing off in weird ways that I shouldn't have been backing off in. Yeah, I think that's mainly the issue that I was having with this whole game, I think. Overthinking some things, like just this was good enough. Happy to do this one. We got points here. We can still get something over here. We can still sort of attack this group later. We can just move on to playing another big move like this one here. If they do something like this, like is what happened in the game, then we're pretty happy with this overall. Right, we should just be pretty far ahead. That's only if we did capture this stone properly. Or not completely capture, but clamp down on this area. Okay. And because we did not do that properly, we do get ahead, but we sort of squandered a bit. Where's this mistake here? This one, yeah. Yeah, I can just live here, I guess. Yeah, right? So if it goes like this. Oh, I can connect first. Interesting. That's a good point. There is no cut here. First of all, we have this nice squeeze. And now this group is not alive anymore. Yeah, the group's just not alive anymore. Interesting. Okay. So yes, I need to be a little more careful next time. But then at the end here, I just make it a blunder and shortness of time was part of the problem. This does look like a fun wedge. And then we can just go back to over here and we get something. And this should be just a close game, but I'm probably going to lose because I'm bad at a game. But if we analyze on this side here, we're both doing pretty good. Only one big mistake from either side. Like I just made this one big mistake, and then apart from that, we did really well. That's not bad. All right, it seems like everything's working fine still. So I guess I will do my last section that I want to do it for the stream. Even though this is the second half of the stream now instead of the first half. But it's fine. We will turn everything off here. Actually, we'll just load the game in real quick. Yeah, this is the right one. Load the game in, and we turn off these things and this here. And we just look through a pro game. That's my last little thing I want to do. I can close this now. So this one's a Chinese league game instead of a Korean league, which Korean league I know a little bit more about. So I don't know the time settings for the Chinese league. And I can't read the names of the players, so it's all good. Can't read it because there's dots on the screen. I'm sure it's around here somewhere. I'm sure there's like a info and notes. Nope. Maybe not. It's somewhere around here, I'm sure. Oh well. Don't worry about it. The point is not the players. It is more so the game itself anyway. I'm here to look at random sort of games. I'm not here to really look at very specific ones. So I chose this one earlier. Instead of grabbing another Korea League game, I grabbed the Chinese League just to make it different. And it does have like a little preview window of what the games look like, but I don't remember what it looked like because I just scrolled through real quickly. So let's just see how it goes. I like to go through the first 4 or 5 problems-ish. 5 problems, 5 moves-ish, then move on from there. So since they just did an enclosure, I'm going to let them play another move, and then we can decide on like a Joseki type of thing here. So I like just backing off here. And I know that's not what they did because this popped up here. I don't know if I can close that either, but I like just backing off here because if we do play this Joseki, you can see that this is actually working pretty well with the enclosure. And then when we move over to this side, we'll play a very basic move here so you can sort of see how this is making a very large moyo. Even if we don't play this Joseki, it ends up making this fairly large potential area pretty comfortably. And then I like having it so that they have to invade on my own side of the board instead of having any sort of weak groups. So that's what I'm fine with. Maybe they did a 3-3 instead. Or they backed off high. Let's see what they did. They backed off high instead. Okay. Peep is normal. Connect. So interesting. I was thinking they're going to just follow the Joseki. But this is actually kind of an interesting move. I would like to see if this is good. Let me think about it first, though. So the normal move here is the slide. But often what people will do is they will jump to this side instead. Because that's the reason why you play high, is because you're trying to take this side. So white is going to get the corner or be able to back off here. Black is going to be developing this fairly nicely. And white does get the next move. So I kind of feel like on this board I might not pull back, but it's still probably fine. I would probably want to approach first, but that's sort of like the normal variation. So white did not want that to happen. That's why they decided to split it instead. This split is actually fine. Normally you want 2 spaces on either side, right? It doesn't look like 2 spaces. But if we do this one, for example, white can still play 2 spaces here, because when it's a line like this and they block, this is an empty triangle. You don't usually want to block this way. So if you're going to try to block the base, you have to jump. And if you're jumping, that means this move could end up being Sente in the future, because of these pushes here may end up mattering for like the life of this group, or for capturing something or anything like that. So this is still a perfectly good 2 space extension because they can't block this way. And even AI likes this sort of variation even without these moves. So, ooh, attaching to it. Okay. Yeah, the idea that I was not too happy with was playing this way. This feels a little inefficient, because white gets a real comfortable 2 space extension this direction. And we only got a knight's move here, and the corner area is still pretty open. Now we are able to go back and attack the bottom side, but it doesn't seem very comfortable for black, and so I wouldn't have wanted to play that. So the attachment is like trying to make it the move that black wanted to have there. Because black wants the large knight here. That's the more comfortable shape, and the more points, of course. So I should Hane over the top, usually. Not going to Hane? Okay, let's see what they do. Hane underneath, okay. Underneath to be a little bit more mindful of your eye shape and territory. Over the top is usually better for escaping, having a stronger group. Just pull back or up. Ooh, up. Okay. That is really... okay. Pulling back is basically... I'm not sure if it's a good exchange or not for black. Coming up, if they protect, then you can block. It looks similar to what black was trying to get. Does that make sense? But white would love to extend here. This would be really nice right now. But there's not that much room to live right now. So white is going to be in a little bit of a tricky situation. So before extending, white wanted to make an exchange over here. So attaching here, often you get moves like this, and then white could extend if they wanted to. Or if they play this one now, they have a really comfortable shape. I don't know if they're going to turn or not here, but turn is like a normal move. I thought they might go back to this, though. Yeah, black's going to not just let them get what they want, and try to fight back a little bit here. This is one of the benefits of playing this 1 space jump, actually. After white peeps here and you connect, you don't try to play any other move. Otherwise, you have weakness that white can use to get extra strength. The benefit of this is how powerful this position actually is. It can make eye shape in the corner if it needs to, and it just has a lot of liberties. There's not that much that white can use against the stones. So often good to take a formation like this and not just block and play territorial, and you should try to fight a little bit here. which is what black is doing here. I think white doesn't really want to just respond, and I would probably jump here. Just respond and then jump? Okay. Respond, back off, and then jump. I kind of just want to jump right away. I don't know why. Maybe that's too much. We should just respond. I mean, we are getting our base still. I was just thinking if we can jump right away, we have this really nice position here. And black still needs to play another move on this side to really capture all this. But we're still going to get that. Because black shouldn't just keep responding on this side like this. This is a cutting point here. But there is the possibility of getting rid of eyes, right? So, like, see, there's not really two eyes locally until white jumps over here. So that's always a possibility. That's why black's going to block now. Threaten to get rid of the two eyes. Then white jumps. Pressing down is a good way to do it. As long as you have this ladder, you're good to go. Yeah, knight's move. This is something I feel I've learned a bit watching pro games and seeing how the AI responds to stuff, is that, of course, you don't want to push from behind. But often the knight's move is just a great way to just solidify the situation and actually have a really strong position. So instead of pushing from behind or jumping like this where you're leaving some cutting points, knight's move is good. So I don't believe white needs to play another move right now. And I would really want to go back to the bottom side, or I want to press down the top some more. The only weakness of this knight's move, right? I wouldn't mind playing it here or playing back on the bottom some spot somewhere over here. See what they do. I'm going to slide. Okay. Yeah, it was hard for me to say which one I wanted more. This is much more territorial. It definitely feels like the white player is a very territorial player. Right, so because instead of hunting over the top on the right side to get some extra strength to make it easier to jump out or survive in the center, they hunt it underneath to deal more with the territory. And instead of pulling back or taking enclosure in the bottom left to deal more with like influential area and building, they're sliding instead. Very, very conscious of the territory. Oh, yeah. I did want to check before I forget about it. This is why I have the AI open. I want to see if this move is considered fine. Okay, yeah, that is one of the moves. Cool. That is interesting to see. Now that we've talked about that, we'll check it out real quick. It does still want this one, but attach is fine as well. And like I thought, like Honey over the top or coming out towards the center is the preferred move. Has more playouts, for example. That was the feeling I had. Pulling up makes sense. It does just want to extend right away. All right. Extend or Hane right away. But this is also fine. As I feel like they just wanted to be careful and not make it so they didn't end up with a group that had to keep running for the rest of the game. And yeah, I thought, okay, this is why I wanted to go back, because I almost forgot to go back and check. My feeling does seem to be right. I didn't really want the turn yet. I wanted to come back or extend right now. I feel like this was already a good enough exchange. So this one would be a good one. And you see how this is a little bit different from in the game. Black doesn't have the turn. If we just have this one, black doesn't get the turn right away. Because now if they turn, we're blocking in a way that gives us better shape. And so they didn't get the turn and they didn't get this press down. We just didn't get the one move towards the center. So now we can turn here and Hane and push. And so black gets a little bit more of this top side, but I think we have a much stronger shape. This is something I would have preferred a little bit more. So I'm glad the AI basically agrees. I don't really think it was a mistake like it's saying it is, because this is basically a mistake for a pro with 0.7. Let's see if we load a little bit more. It might change that. No, making it worse. Okay, never mind. I won't keep making it think about it. It's making it worse instead. Yeah, I really want to just push here. This feels like the vital point. Even if we lose this, it feels like the vital point. Pressing and block. And yeah, I like just the regular jump, but this one's fine too. And yeah, knight's move is often a good move to just play. Push is still going to be fine, but knight's move is often the right move. And yeah, okay. Slide is fine. But I think this is probably where I get a lot of my influences from AI. And because I didn't really study too many other pros. AI is the only pro I studied. Yeah, I would like to pull back here or take this corner enclosure instead. And it looks like they thought about these moves. Like this is 506 play out, 755. So they thought about these moves more than they thought about the slide. So I'm going to turn this off now. We can go back to the game. I'm not going to do the whole game. I just like to do a certain amount of the game. So we'll probably go in for another maybe 30 minutes, but talking about the game. And then we'll probably be done for the day. I think it was overall a good day. I was about to say good game. I'm like, no, I didn't play the game yet. Good day. Even though there was the one random hiccup. But I was winning my game. I was actually doing pretty well. But I was just playing moves that were silly. But overall, perfectly acceptable. Oh, attach. That's a little bit weird. This feels like a mistake to me. Even if black gets to keep the corner, this feels like a mistake. I just wouldn't respond. Let's see. Yeah, that is a mistake. Okay. That felt like an obvious mistake there for me. Yeah, just move on to a corner. We're good. Move on to a corner. And the game was fine. But yeah, this felt like a... Because normally if you do something like this, the idea would be that you're trying to take the corner away. Trying to take the corner back. But this is like end game. This is like an end game type move. And the reason why you don't do the other move first is so that white can't capture the stone. Now, there are other considerations here, but we'll just play the simple way. Right? White can't capture the stone if you do it this way. If you do it the other way, right? But you're giving up something, and you're making white stronger. So I'm very happy as white. This would make me very, very happy. And now we can pull back. See if they pull back or not. Okay, there's two space. Okay. As I said, they're a very territorial player. So they wouldn't... It seems like they wouldn't play a move like this one. So two space makes sense. It probably doesn't really matter. It should both be fine. Yeah, both are fine. And then 3-3. All right. Which way do we want to block here? So normally you block... you don't just block the widest side. You block the side that you want to continue the Joseki on. That's how 3-3 works now. You block the side where you want to continue the Joseki. So if we block at c4, then the goal would be that we would want to be able to continue this Joseki in some way. But if we just play this out, we're going to play the regular Joseki type moves regardless of ladder or not, just to see what it looks like. The problem is it seems like we might actually be a little bit over concentrated here. We got all this strength and only a 3-space wall. It's only a 3-space extension from our wall. And then black even has the ability to play here in the future, which makes our wall even taller, even more thick, and they have even got more points out of it. So this is definitely over concentrated on the bottom. So that's actually the real thing you're looking at when you're trying to figure out which way to block. Which direction do you want that type of Joseki to be facing? So this way is the better way to do that. And the other second question to ask yourself, of course, is also like, do you want to just extend, right? So like, let's go back to this one. So we're not playing too much in the game here. If we do something like this one and we just extend like this, this feels really bad. Where it's just, they can just easily block anything that we could be building. The game's not over yet, but it's a little bit awkward. And we didn't really gain anything on the bottom. So if we're going to extend like that, where's the direction we want to block as well? So that's why I would assume that they might actually just keep extending here instead of playing a more Joseki. But they are going to do the Joseki. Okay. Ah, okay. Does white have the ladder here? Let's read this out. It kind of looks like they might. So if white gets the ladder, then it's bad to allow them to capture or allow them to play that Joseki like normal. That'd be the third consideration. If you have the ladder one way versus the other way, block the way that you have the ladder. But that's why black just captures here. They don't want to have to deal with anything. White gets moved on the outside, but black is going to be able to reduce this bottom side pretty easily. Peep. I'm kind of not worried at all about the cut. I have to be honest. I'm kind of not worried about it at all. My feeling is that I could just Tanuki. So I don't want a Tanuki necessarily. I was making sure that everything was still working. Just double checking everything, okay, guys? People here or not doesn't really matter. I want to make sure it's connected properly and giving us information. Okay, because people can always watch later if they want to. Cool. But yeah, no, I have a feeling that I could just Tanuki, because if they cut, I feel fairly safe on the bottom and I feel fairly safe on the left side. But if I'm going to Tanuki, I probably actually want to defend one side. So I kind of like the knight's move here into something over here, but anything's fine. You can probably just connect too, because connect is like the simple way to handle it. My guess is that black's probably going to play on the bottom. Well, maybe they just want the one exchange, so maybe they don't have to continue on the bottom. That'd be my feeling, is that they'd want to play another move here. And it feels good to reduce over here, so it's not bad. The other option, of course, just moving on to the other corner. The other corner now. Another 3-3. This is one where I would love to block and just extend. I don't know which side to block on. I think both of them should be fine, but I would want to block here more, I think, which is what they do. Very good. Double Hane right away. Okay, white is a territorial player, so I'll let them have the double Hane here. I'm not sure I would want the double Hane. I think it's probably fine. I'm just not sure I would want it. Let's see. Yeah, it does seem like the preference for AI was to extend in both ways. So I'm sure even here, if we have this one, probably just extend still. Yeah, it's still saying extend is perfectly acceptable, but just taking all of the territory in the center. Yeah, this feels good. I'll be happy with this. So double Hane is probably fine, but it just doesn't feel as doesn't feel the way I like to play, at least. Push feels really good here. This is why I don't like it. After this push, it feels like black actually got some like free potential points on this side. Yes, you can press it down, but maybe they can just push and cut if you try to press it down now. So it looks like they just got some extra points here. So it just depends on how useful that is compared to what white got here. And I feel like this is the way that gives black the most opportunity versus just taking the large moyo. Yeah, I feel like outside moves are just more useful. Personally, I like them more. Like, I don't really want to respond over here right now. I want to just... Actually, I don't know what I want to do. I actually almost want to just Hane here. I don't know if that's good, but I kind of just want to Hane. But this Hane here, yeah. If you don't respond, they can Hane and you have to like capture in the corner and then they can really reduce you. So that's why it feels a little bad. Anything though is good, it looks like. So we're good. We're good to go. Yeah, just taking this feels good. And cutting through here. Okay. I don't know if that's good enough. I think I'm happy to give that up. But I guess White's points for the Moyo are not settled yet. And the top side would be pretty settled if you do just give it up. But I think I'm fine with that. Oh, don't do the Atari, just settle the group. All right. Then move on. Yeah, not doing the Atari so that later we add a move over here again. Let's just do this one. So that later White could decide to come out over here and fight if they need to. This is the type of thing I probably need to get better at doing. So let's see. Like AI would just tell me to Atari right away. And this is probably what I would have done. Hey, Jasper, how you doing? Everyone's been here today, it seems. We had a Dallin earlier. I was playing Hru earlier as well. And we had a bunch of people pop in. It was nice. The Jasper. There's Frozen right now. There we go. Oh, Frozen. The guy you said was the 6-Dan AGA guy. And Happy New Year, yes. They sent me a message. They said that they were a Chinese 5-Dan, but it is the account that everyone uses, but he's been using it and he's a Chinese 5-Dan. So I guess maybe a visitor or just someone extra at the place. So if you don't know who that is, then there you go. Weak sauce, yeah. Now that is something that Little Lamb did tell me. Like while 5-Dan can be good, it's also hard to say. Because he said like first he can give quite a few stones to a 5-Dan. It's such a big range. Yeah. He can give quite a few stones to a lot of 5-Dans. But then also he was teaching a 9-Dan and he was giving them 3 or 4 stones too. So he's not someone to to base that on really. But yeah, so that's a little different. But yeah, he said that even when I was 2Q, I probably could have easily gotten 3-Dan, maybe even 5-Dan in China, depending on where I was in China. So it just depends on where you are. I was 2Q KGS a long time ago. So not just 2Q Fox. Oh yeah, KGS, shut up. There we go. What range? What do you mean? Oh, what range? Oh yeah. 5-Dan such a big range. They could be super strong. Oh, what a range? Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. They could be very, very strong. Because there's, I think like Little Lamb's friend who was 9-Dan on Fox, anti-Jim and stuff. He was a 5-Dan, a Chinese 5-Dan, but he was also much stronger than the normal Chinese 5-Dan. So yeah, you have to, you can't. Yeah, that's the thing that I thought was interesting about how they do it. Yeah, they have to win competitions to rank up. And so if you just don't go, you just don't have to worry. And I think 5-Dan, you have to win a tournament as well. I think he was saying if you win any tournament, you can get 3-Dan pretty easily. Kind of doesn't matter where you are. And then you have to win something else in order to get to 5-Dan. And I don't remember exactly. It's been quite a few years since I talked about it. And it might be different now, so. All right, anyway. My stream crashed earlier for no reason at all. So this is the second half, part 2. So we're just looking at the pro game right now. And so far, I found a couple moves that I didn't really like. Speaking of Chinese, this is the Chinese league. These are Chinese professionals for this one. Yesterday were Korean league games. Today the Chinese league. It's a new year, so I got to do something slightly different, right? And then, yeah, he attached on the bottom. Okay, so yeah, how would I want to respond to this one? Yeah, hey. It was nice to see you again. Have a good day. I'll probably go watch Z Chen later because I think he played some. He said new 9 dawn account, so I'm gonna see what that meant. See what he was doing. I have it open on the other side somewhere. I guess the idea is if I do Hane from this side, they're going to try to make it complicated on the other. But if I do it from this side, it feels too annoying. So I don't want them to double Hane on this side. I'd rather they double Hane on M3. So I'm just going to Tanuki. I like it. I like this answer. That was a free move that they could have gotten, right? Black could have played here for free. Because a double Atari, but does it matter? I don't know if it really matters too much. It is a really nice strengthening move, though. So I'm fine with that. That's interesting, though, this one here. I'm interested to see. Yeah, it doesn't really want him to play there. It does want this one, though, right away. That is funny. But yeah, just extend. Okay. Extend or Hane on this side. I was right that I didn't want the other Hane, though. Let's let it load for a second. Both Hanes are fine. About the same, but extending is the better move. Okay. Turn back off here. Yeah, this feels a little bit bad to allow. But it should be fine. Can Hane under if we really need to. Or can cross cut. Pulling down works because we should be able to cut and potentially kill the group. If they block, oh, he's going to block. All right, we have to cut, though. That's the only option. The only option is cut. The only option is not necessarily to Atari out, though. They could use this to sacrifice. A triple Hane sort of idea. Could be interesting. Actually, I kind of like that. I kind of like the triple Hane here. Because if they Atari out and they capture, we can then Atari this one out and do something on the other side. I like that. Just extend, though. Psh, boring. Yeah, just extends better. All right, I figured it probably was, but still boring. Yeah, jump out here. And then the question is, can they run this out? They probably can. Do they have this ladder? This is a net. But do they have the ladder, though, is the better question to ask here. It doesn't look like they probably have. They might actually have the ladder here. Because the ladder is sometimes better to capture if you can do that instead. Get rid of any squeezing, right? So they can just push right now and connect. But I feel like that's too good for white. That actually feels way too good for white. Even if you do push all the way and we just let them swallow this up, you already made this really bad exchange over here. You've already made some really bad exchanges over here. So we're not capturing it on a large scale. I'd be happy with that as white. I'm happy to just keep extending. Yeah, I'm very happy with this as white. I have to be honest. Even just turning here, threatening this. Oh, I feel like white is the stronger player overall from this game. Yes, 8p versus 6p, but that doesn't really mean as much in the pro world. It's more like accomplishment, again, versus actual strength. And I don't know the players, so for all I know, one of them is way stronger than the other, right? So, or normally stronger. And white's the 6p, so who knows? This feels really good. I have to see. Is this really... Yeah, it feels really good for white. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. See what goes on here. It's not a mistake. Since they played this way, they think they have to follow up this way. Let's see if extending down was the mistake. No, they should do it. All right. I don't know. It feels really good. It is territorial. It is capturing a lot, but I don't know. I like white a lot. And I'm not biased because there's a giant moyo on the board. I just like white a lot. I didn't like the way they started the game, but I like the way they're continuing it, we should say. Ooh, I like this move, though. This is an annoying looking move. I don't know if it's good, but it looks really annoying. We don't really want to just back off if we don't have to. I really would rather jump. And since we extended up here, the jump either jump is actually more useful. So let's see how they manage this area, and then we'll probably stop. Yeah, I kind of want to jump. Let me think about it. It is making this into a little bit of a fight. And maybe we don't want to fight right now. Maybe it's better to back off because they still aren't connected to anything. Yeah, I like that idea. The jump feels like the right spirit, but backing off, I think, feels like the right move. Oh, pushing up here. Get rid of this Aji instead. Same idea as backing off, though. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay, this is what we would need to see. Yeah, the AI was very much worried about this. So much so that I think the AI even wants it now. And even before this point, it wants it now. So, especially at this point, we get rid of this Aji, gets rid of all the forcing moves, and it makes these stones weak. And of course, if black's jumping out here, this is definitely when we're feeling very nice about this, because there's a weak group jumping out in the middle of nowhere. So this exchange to see what white wants to do, and then see what they can manage on the bottom with forcing moves here, with all their stuff, because they do have to worry about this push and cut and the liberties on these 4 stones. So cut first, ask questions later. Atari over the top. If they connect here, can the push and cut now work? I kind of feel like it might be too slow to do this now anyway, even if it does work. I would want to wait to play this move later. Yeah, okay. Good. Because it feels like once you've invested this move, if white just fixes the cutting point, they can fix it in a lot of different ways. We'll just make it more obvious. We need to make sure this group's alive now. And we don't want to have to do that. Especially since if we just look at the shape it has, there's no eyes. I think the garbage man's here. I can hear the squeaking of the tires. So this feels like a good way to just get rid of the stones. And should we just take it? I think white will just take it. But should we? I kind of want to. Yeah, just take it. It's going to be a bit of a hassle. They still don't have any connection anywhere. I think this is still okay. That was something I learned from AI a long time ago. If we go back to before all of this, if black plays a move like this one, it's often fine to back off because they still need to manage the group and we're making ourselves safe and strong, that type of idea. Even over here, often fine to just back off. They need to manage their stones first. So I think it's the same principle for this first diagonal move, and then just capturing over here. They still need to figure out their stones, so it's not a guarantee of anything good yet. Is this the right idea? Wrong move, but right idea. It does want this one right away. I would have such a hard time with that. All right, capture and jump in. I think it's fine. This is probably a good way for black to manage. I would be happy to also just sort of answer here, but I don't need to answer here. Also jumping over here, because there is the possibility of attacking this stone in the upper right still. And if we can fight both sides, that seems good. Also just going to go directly for that one, see how that resolves first. Because there's a lot of Aji here. This whole fight is still happening, so we're just going to keep going for now. I want to see how it resolves a little bit more. Ooh. All right. You have to turn. If we Hane, there's more cutting points, more Aji. And there's still this Atari and wraparound idea here, so you have to be careful. Can you just Hane right now? I guess it's a little difficult. They could try to attack if they wanted to, but this attachment will make you stronger. Then we can definitely Hane, and they are still going to cut. All right. Atari extend. Okay, so I think this is probably good enough. So the idea ended up being that we sacrifice these stones, and it's probably an okay sacrifice because they're not completely dead, and these stones still need to make sure they have enough liberties to manage the situation. And after we turn here, now all of this is separated pretty comfortably. The only issue I have is if this isn't Sinte, then I think black is potentially in the slightly better position. And black does play one more move in the center here. So let's see if they punish this at all or if they can. Nope, they're just cutting it off. Okay. Yeah, it does feel... It still feels difficult for black. But let us see what the score graph and everything looks like now. My feeling is that I like white significantly more, but black did end up getting quite a lot of points on the top and quite a lot of points in the bottom right. So I think black could be ahead here, and it will completely depend on if this group dies or not. I think it might depend on that for sure. Maybe not. This is a decent amount of points as well. I think we can probably negate these two. And then it's just this top side that we have to deal with on this left side. And so we're getting a little bit in the middle here. And it also depends if we can get anything with this group. So let's see, score graph here. Black ends up winning, but white is in the better position. This is why Moyos are a little dangerous. White's at 90% to win right now. I was feeling that, but that doesn't mean I was right. We'll put on top moves again as well. So black, obviously black's a little bit better in the opening, slightly better moves here, but then they make a big mistake with this attachment, which gives white a very nice position. And just stays even because they're just playing Joseki. And then white makes a small mistake on this side here. 2 in a row to make it even again. But then this fight does seem slightly better for white. For me personally. Because he didn't have to back off, I guess. Should have played over here first, but this was a bad move. Okay. Because it just helps white fix the Aji here. And there's not a good way to really clean this up. Yeah, I see now. If you're understanding the Aji better, then this is a big mistake. I like it, though. I still like it. It's sort of, I said, it feels like a really annoying move. If we have to play like this, this feels really annoying. Especially because the Aji's still there. Yes. And we just capture here, and we're in a good position. And then, yeah, come back and use that now makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I agree with just pushing here. Also making a lot of sense. Connecting my group, right? That's what I should be doing a lot of the time. But they want to be a little bit more, grab as much as they can. And then now white should fight. They extended now. And this was a mistake. They should give that up and not worry about it. Okay, that's interesting. Attach. Hane. Extend. Atari's fine. Extend. And we still have the ability to come in over here and really annoy this area. Okay. We're just looking over this last little section now, since we've already talked about a lot of it. I just want to see how it ends up playing out and seeing the moves through the eyes of the AI at this point. This is an interesting move I would have thought of, but just separate. Then we can see how the game ends up going, because it seems like they make a big mistake here soon. So we just need to use the Aji over here. But I'm not going to worry about that. They're focused more on this fight. Fine with that. Blocking and fighting. Only one move. And now it's saying only one move because we really want to use this Aji. I guess it does clear up this area, because black will have to make sure they have enough liberties over here again. But white's fine to just peep and try to get something. This feels good. Black gets a little bit of a squeeze here, which makes them have at least one eye. So I just need one more eye here. Let's see what they figure out. On a tiger's mouth. That's not necessarily the second eye. Still just one eye for now. Are they captured right now? Ooh. That is a mistake, but they should still be fine. Oh, then that cut was the mistake. Or that Atari was a mistake too. Why is the Atari a mistake? Well, yeah, it's hurting this side and this side quite a lot, right? So this one here, we can't block this way because of this move. So this group's just alive, and maybe we can save some of this, but even if we do, we can just give this up, right? We can just give up this area, so we don't need to worry about that if we really have to. The point is these two stones captured. But then this peep was a mistake. That actually ruins the Aji here. That's funny. That is kind of funny. Turn. They capture. And then we turn back this way now. And then now the game is over because black gets to play on the top first. And they're just winning. Would I have seen anything here? Is my question. Would I have seen anything here? Would I have turned here, first of all? In a serious game, not a random online game. I feel like there's no reason to turn there. I don't have to. I think I'm connected, right? If we play anywhere else and black does this one, we at least have this Atari. And then we can still turn here, regardless of any other Aji right now. I just want to talk about the connection itself. This feels all connected and fine. So this doesn't feel like there's a need to actually just connect. I definitely would have been thinking about the liberties here on this group. If I could figure something out there, that would be really nice. Wedge is often good. This move is good for getting rid of or getting extra liberties here. So I guess what they're really doing with this turn is they're connecting these 4 stones. I think that's really what they're doing. But after black fixes the top side Aji, I think the top side Aji is pretty easy to read. But this is the area that's not easy to read. So if we did do this and they push, we block, they can cut here, and there's all this Aji here. It does feel like we need to connect now. They get this for free. And then there's all this Aji here. It seems a bit like we made this for ourselves, so we should just move on to play this other bigger area. Yeah, I actually agree. Even if this doesn't work, right? So even if they play here and cut through and they capture these stones, it does feel like being able to get this top side is potentially just better. Because we got rid of all of these points. This is a ton of points getting rid of. And then we also captured a bunch. So I'd be pretty happy here. And then this group is actually not even alive yet. Let's just do this one, right? This group is not alive yet. So okay, I feel like based on my record at Go Congress, this is something I probably would have looked for and potentially even found based on how I play in person. If I had enough time on my clock. If I didn't have enough time on my clock, I might have just connected. But I usually had plenty of time on my clock. I would have sat there and thought about it. But I would have also played the fight differently too. So the important part is, would I have considered it? And I think I would have. I think I actually would have. So that's good enough for me. Oh, nice. We get nice little capture here. That's kind of fun. But basically, they kept this bottom side, but because they kept the bottom side, Black got to keep all the top side. And it ended up just being a good reduction from Black instead. And so the top is definitely bigger than the left side, or about the same, as big or bigger than the left side. Then they have this corner here and this really large corner here, which definitely makes up for the rest pretty easily. Yeah, okay. Interesting game. I enjoyed it. I liked the way White played earlier, but Black was better at the end, potentially in time pressure. Black played better. So that's interesting. All right, so that is everything now. Now I can officially end instead of having to just close the stream because something's broken. I still don't know what broke earlier, but it's fine. After this, I am making my little book review. Probably take a break, eat some food, stuff like that, then make my little book review. I'll see if I can figure it out. So hope you guys have a good day. Hope you guys are enjoying the new year. It's the first day of it for me, so it should be good. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. As long as I can figure out how to turn it off.